Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Right, so picking up where we left off.
Containers.
Huh?
Containers.
Yeah. But specifically where we left off, so using the containers of the disbelievers when they don't use najasa in them, then there's no harm in it. We see actions from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba, and this ayat references that. So when you go to the restaurant or something like that and there's no pre-contamination, then the utensil is fine. When they use the container in najasa and you know it, then you should not use the container. And if you have no choice but to use the container, then you have to wash it first. And some of them say you have to boil it. Because, for example, if it's a pot, right, the pots that they used to, and these things change. So why are we mentioning all of these things? Because reasons change with technology, right? And technology isn't just what you think about computers and things like that. Are our pots today the same as their pots in the past? Right? A lot of times we use stickless, stainless steel, non-stick, ceramic. While in the past they might have used an earthen pot or a clay pot, or maybe at best an iron pot or wood, right? Wood as a pot to cook in, though, not as much, yeah. But as a container for sure. Stone, wood, things like this as a container for sure. But like a pot, it would have to be something that could withstand fire. But the problem is that those pots, like a clay pot, for example, or an iron pot, or brass or something like that, copper, they might be more porous. So if you cook something in it that's najis, you would be worried that as the food is cooking, it's cooking into the pot, right? So the najasa is cooking into the pot. And then when you cook something else in it, that najasa will come out of the pot that it was cooked into. Like I'm sure you all are making iftar in the morning. If you're like my household, everybody's doing something else. So she's using the pot to make some eggs, and then I want to use the pot to make some sausages. What's going to happen to my sausages? We don't got time to wash the pot out. There's going to be a little bit of egg on it. Yeah. That'd be the best, by the way, when you make a dirty sandwich, like a dirty piece of food. It got like everybody else's food on it. That'd be the best. Anyway, the point of it is, when it's your container and it's halal food across, it's no problem. But if I had a kafir that was using the pot before me, then that egg, if it was something najis, now it's gotten into my food. So I would have had to have done what?
You have to wash it.
I would have had to wash it. And that's why they say you would have had to boil it, like wash it with hot water to get all of that filth out. So if you know that they've used it in najasa, then you can't use it unless there's no alternative. Right? No reasonable option that you could do. Right?
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
When you say knowing, let's say eating it.
Well, that's why I specifically said knowing.
Right.
So if you know, like how do you know you know?
You saw it.
You saw it.
So
Or you know. Whatever you know, you know, you know. But if you know that they've used it for najasa, and in this circumstance we say what? Don't use it. Specifically when it's something that can become contaminated with the najasa. Right? When it's something that can become contaminated with the najasa. You wanted something?
Is it your duty to research?
That's the same question we're about to come to now. What if you do not know? What if you do not know? You go to the restaurant, they bring you the food on a plate. Did they serve najasa on it before? You call up the pizza, he left already. You call up Domino's and order a pizza, and they bring it to you cut. But you don't know what they did before. You don't know if it was the first pizza of the day, if they just washed the knife or not. Is it your job to research?
That's a very good question, Shah.
So you tell me. You got an ayat. Remember, the goal isn't to just give you the answers. The goal is to, let's look at the ayat. Let's see what the ayat is telling us.
Based on
research.
The question is, what if you go to a restaurant and you don't know? Is it your job to research?
Yes. Based on what the Prophet said, yes.
Based on what the Prophet said, yes?
No, because he's saying unknowingly. So you have the ability to know right now.
Okay. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Everybody agree with him?
No.
Okay, what you got?
When he was handed the lamb, mean what was it again? From the Yahudi.
The sheep.
The sheep, yeah.
He didn't ask any questions.
Right.
You see what he's saying?
I see what you're saying. Yes.
The situation when the prophet said no, did he know?
He knew.
Yes, he's the prophet.
He knew. No, not yes, he's the prophet. The prophet doesn't know the unseen. Right? Plus, the prophet didn't know what was going on. He just heard Abu Thalaba's question. I'm in a land where there's a group of the people of the book. They eat pig in their containers and they drink alcohol in their cups. The prophet gave the answer based on what?
The knowledge that he
That is what is happening. What about if I don't have the knowledge that is what is happening?
So
Is it? Don't you need to make sure that you're eating halal?
You're eating halal. We're talking about the container. So, in that circumstance, the person posed the question with knowledge that this is what they're doing, and the prophet said what? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam said no. That's based on if you what? If you know. What about in the circumstances where you don't know? Are there any other circumstances where the prophet said no? There's no other circumstances where the prophet said no. He ate the sheep that was poisoned. Did he ask first? Hey, did you poison this? And did you wash the bowl?
That's food too.
That's my point. He didn't ask, did you poison this? He just what?
Just ate it.
He didn't ask, did you wash the bowl? Make sure it was clean? If he didn't ask, was the meat poison? You think he's going to ask if the bowl clean? When the Jewish person invited him to bread and condiments, did he say, make sure you wash your dish before I come? Or did he just accept the invitation?
Accepted the invitation and ate it.
Remember, without proof, you can't obligate. The hadith of Jabir, when he said we would go to battles with the Messenger of Allah, and we would find the utensils of we would gain the utensils of the disbelievers in their cups or their drinking vessels, and nobody would criticize us. In your mind, you're thinking what? Oh, we took them home and washed them and used them. No, there's no evidence of doing all of that. What does he say? We got the containers. You get a container, what you gonna do?
use it.
I'm gonna use it. He didn't mention anything about cleaning it.
What's the principle again?
Al-yaqeen la yuzalu bishak. I mean, that's the principle. Certainty is not gone away with doubt. And the foundation of everything is what?
That's clean.
Permissible, halal. That is halal. Huwa alladhi ja'ala lakum ma fil ardi jami'an. He's the one who made for you everything that is in the earth. So the foundation is that it's clean, but if you know that it's najis,
Now you must act on that.
it's haram to use. Unless you what? Unless you have no choice, then you have to wash it first. In the statement, unless you have no choice, there's a benefit. Avoid the haram as much as possible. Right? What if I know that they use it? Can I just wash it
No.
and now it's clean?
No.
I can, if I
That
can.
option.
Huh? If there's another option, use the other option. Avoid the suspicious, the doubtful, the concerning area, and just use what you know is halal. But if you have no choice but to use it, when I call Domino's, I can't tell them I'm gonna bring my own. I can't tell them to use my knife, right? Just ask them to clean it. If you know that they use it to cut halal. What if you don't know? Now here is the issue that we run into, and then we're going to come to another issue after this. What if it's most likely, but you don't know? When I call Domino's and I order cheese pizza and they cut my pizza, do I know that they cut pork before that?
Most likely they do.
I don't know. I cannot swear by Allah that they cut pork before they served me my pizza. But is it most likely? In most circumstances, it would be most likely, right? It might be the first pizza of the day, then it's less likely. But it's most likely that they do it. Does most likely require me to act as if I know?
No.
That's shirk.
It's not shek, it's dhann. Yeah, it's above shek.
One is like, so it's most likely it's predominant.
It's predominant. It's most likely. It's most likely. It's not unlikely. It's most likely. It's here in America. Pepperoni pizza is the best selling pizza. If I call Domino's, most likely or very likely, highly likely, do I have to tell them to clean the cutter? I don't know it's dirty.
You could.
I could, but do I have to? I don't know if it's dirty. And is it my job to research? Huh? That's how I would incline. That you don't have to. It's okay to just tell them to clean it. But I wouldn't research because of what he mentioned, how it can open the door of Westminster. Because once you open that door, it can become more and more. Right? So, if I don't know that they used it, but it's likely, I would say it's makruh, it's disliked. And this is why you see a lot of scholars saying that using the utensils of disbelievers is disliked. Some of them say it's halal, mubah, should we say. Some of them say it's haram, and we see why from both sides. Some of them say, you know what, we'll just ride the middle and say it's makruh. In all circumstances. Right? Because most likely kafirs are using it for what? Najasa. It's most likely every kafir uses it for najasa.
So,
They don't clean it good. That's what I'm saying. It's most likely they used it for najasa, and the Prophet never asked those type of questions. And so some people say it's just disliked. Because you got the hadith that says no, and the ayat that says yes. So just, don't use it if you can avoid it.
well, if it's most likely and it's predominantly,
But predominant doesn't mean what?
that's true.
Doesn't mean that you know. And if you don't know, the foundation is what?
That you don't know.
The foundation that it isn't. Because what's the principle, Honor? La yuzal b'shak. Certainty is not done away with doubt. I know for sure a pizza cutter is what? It's clean. I know for sure a pizza cutter is clean. When I go to Walmart or home or wherever I go, a pizza cutter is clean. That's what I know for sure. I am in doubt, has it gotten dirty? You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know. So I have what? We didn't call it shak there. Van. Al-yaqeen, la yuzalu bi. A van or a shak, they're all the same in this regard. Right? It could be most likely. But it doesn't make me know it. And so since I don't know it, I can't say that you have to do this.
Azan is a lie too.
No, done is not a lie.
What about
Inna ba'da dhanni ithm. A dhann akdhabul hadith. Akdhabul hadith. It doesn't mean that it's a lie. It just means that when you speak with conjecture. So there's different levels of dhann, or different rulings of dhann, generally speaking. But the hadith you're talking about, inna dhann akdhabul hadith, because what are you going to do? I think. Do you know anything? You might as well be lying because you don't know anything. What you're saying, is it true or not? وَمَنْ حَدَّثَ بِحَدِيثٍ يَرَى أَنَّهُ كَذِبٌ فَهُوَ أَحْدُ الْكَاذِبِينَ. Whoever says a hadith that he thinks it's a lie, then he's one of the liars. So it's not that the dhann is a lie in itself. It's that by speaking with a bunch of suspicion and conjecture, it's going to lead you into lying. In the ba'd of dhanni ithm, but not all of dhann. You see what I'm saying? Majority of the rulings in our religion are based on dhann, because we don't have certainty that dog spit is najis or tahir. We don't have certainty. You see what I'm saying? We have, I think that this is it. In any circumstance, so that's what we say. If you know for sure, that's what I say at least. If you know for sure that it's najis, you can't use it. And unless there's no choice, then you have to wash it. If you don't know, then it's permissible. But if it's most likely, it's still permissible, but it's disliked to use. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to the restaurant and they have wine and they have beer in the same glass that they serve orange juice in, and they serve a steak on the same plate that they serve a pork chop on.
What if they cook it on the same?
Another issue. This is a big issue. You go to certain restaurants and they have grills. A cheesesteak restaurant. They put their little steakums on the same thing that they cook the bacon on. Permissible or not permissible? Use what you know now to make a judgment.
We clean after them. But they already use it for legis.
If you know it,
I'm
I
at,
know. So
it's not for me to answer your question. It's for
What-
you
so-
to make your judgment. Make your judgment. You said what?
Okay,
They
but
clean it after. So if it's clean to you, it's what? He made his judgment.
no, but what if you have another option?
He has another option. This is America is full of restaurants.
Yeah, so go ahead.
When I go to Old Charlie's in the Galleria, right next door to it, there's a halal burger spot. They have halal bacon, beef bacon. All right, but I love Old Charlie's. They make good cheese fries and a decent cheesesteak. It's not the best, but it's okay. But when they're making a cheesesteak, if somebody orders a cheesesteak with bacon, they'll put bacon on the grill. Abdul Hakim, is that halal or haram? What's Abdul Hakim going to tell you?
Use your judgment.
I'm not going to answer you. I don't have the qualifications to make this judgment. Now you got to use what you know. وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. This is their food. They served it on this. They cooked it in this dish. Is the dish that they're cooking it on najis or tahir? According to Mustafa, he said it's tahir. He said they cleaned it after they used the bacon.
But they already used it on legends, right?
He said they used the najis and then they cleaned it. That's what he said.
Yeah, but you're only supposed to clean it if you don't have another option.
You don't have another option.
One time.
I don't have any other option for
Okay,
this
then go
cheesesteak.
ahead. Go ahead.
But that's a good point. No, I'm being facetious there, but that's a good point. What does it mean if you have no other option? You know what I'm saying? That's something that you have to look into. Because when do you not have another option? Does it mean like if you're in a situation where they're only kuffar, or does it mean I don't know?
It's a Muslim restaurant you can go to.
It's a Muslim restaurant, so now you telling me I can't eat at the Kafir restaurants at all
I'm not
because I
saying
have
that.
another option.
Some scholars will say that. Avoid.
And now you see how this issue becomes big. But Mustafa said it's okay.
Don't quote me on it. I ain't gonna be responsible for me. Don't quote me on it.
Like for example, I'll tell you like one of my thought processes. Last time I went to Old Charlie's, I mentioned them because these thoughts are going in my head as I'm ordering something. Right? I ordered chicken cheesesteak with fries, cheese fries. I don't want nothing on my cheesesteak except cheese. The person I always look at who the person before me is. Who the person before me, who the person after me is. Because in my mind, I gotta know, okay, did this person order pork or not? The person before me had a cheesesteak with bacon. Now, the bacon they don't put on the grill. They put on the grill on the side.
How do you know that?
I'm watching them. Oh, Charlie, you can watch them
Oh,
cook.
you can watch it.
Yeah. The bacon, Charlie, they put it on the top side of the grill. And then when it cooks, they put it on top of the meat. After they dice the meat. So they dice the meat, put the cheese on it, and then put the bacon on top. But the bacon was cooking at the top. My chicken, they put it all the way at the bottom on the other side. To me, that's far enough. I don't worry about the bacon grease running into my chicken. Huh? It's possible, but I don't see it. You see what I'm saying? I don't see it happening. And so I'm looking at it. But then the knife that he was dicing it up with, because I think he did dice it up with the bacon now that I think about it. He diced it up with the bacon. So the knife that he was dicing it up with, I asked him, "Can you just switch your knife out for you?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem." Grabbed a new knife and cut mine. Then, as mine was still finishing cooking, another person came and ordered one with bacon in it as well. And so I gotta watch to make sure that he don't go back to mine after going back to theirs. But if I was just ordering on the phone, I don't know they did all that. I don't know if because they do clean it. They put the little thing on it every time and scrape it down, and it's hot, so it's cooking off. And does bacon when it cooks turns into ash? Is the ash still najis, or does it change into something else? It's the hot. So all of those things, those are going through your mind as you're ordering a chicken cheesesteak, and that's the harm of living in America. That's the harm of living in the West.
And then worrying about the hadith.
What's that?
If you don't eat the halal.
Oh yeah, we talked about why did the law mention eating halal and the completing of your religion in the context of living of eating halal. It's the most important thing you could do. And so if one wanted to make the argument that if there was no other reason to make hijrah besides eating halal, that'd be a good argument. Because when I go to Saudi, I don't have to worry about none of that. I can say, give me the chicken cheesesteak with bacon, and I don't gotta worry about it.
I got a question.
No.
Like, would it be too much for me? Like, would I be like, if I ask, do you put the bacon on the same plate when you cook it as the burgers? For example?
Mustafa already told us, open the door for what's on you. You can. I'm not. Is it your responsibility to ask? Ya sahib al-haw.
I'm just worried about the bacon being on the like I'm not
On the same skittle.
Yeah.
I mean, ya sahib al-haw. You can ask, but once you ask, now you ask.
Right.
And now you have to live according to the answer. And was it your job to ask before that?
Right. I know it's not.
And if you did, I mean, I can't tell you, but I just...
One time I went to a truck stop and they had like these kitchens, you know. mom
I
and
know,
pop,
like
pop
the
and moms.
old town buffet and all that, yeah.
And I, took the burger and I went into the truck and I'm driving and took a bite. I smelled like
The pork,
piece
yeah.
of bacon.
That's when it's the most dangerous, when it's, especially those mom and pop shops and those smaller shops or those truck stops where people don't care. But that's where the hadith of the Prophet said, I know they're using it. That's why I say, when you know, you know. Like, I don't have to see, for me, I know my pizza cutter is probably Netches. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to just by default tell them, can you clean the pizza cutter? Because even though I didn't see it, for me, I've seen enough pizza cutters at Domino's to know that they're always dirty.
Back in the day when I wasn't practicing, I worked.
Yeah, that's cool. But it's about what you know, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's hard, it's difficult.
Or just go to the restaurant.
But there are not enough Muslim restaurants.
Can you ask another true?
Because now when you say or just go to Muslim restaurants, you must have a lot of garments.
Garments?
Y'all don't remember the conversation from last time? No, that wasn't this class. That was a different class online. So about a garment, we mentioned on who was it? Salim ibn Umar. He asked Sa'id ibn Jubair about a semen spot on a garment that he can't find. Right? He ejaculated onto his garment, but he can't find the spot to clean it off. And so Sa'id told him, you got to clean your garment. You got to clean the spot. He said, I'll just change garments. He said, you must have a lot of garments. See what I'm saying? Tell me just go to a different restaurant. It must be a lot of halal options. It must be, and then nowadays with people making the halal options twice as much as the regular options, taking advantage of the Muslims, halal milk.
Who was Jabir? Was Jabir the one with the stain?
No, it was salad. Or there was multiple narrations of people had stains of semen on them.
But that also tells you, okay, you want to do that, that's up to you.
Exactly. You must have a lot of garments. But don't make that the religion. So that's why I said I can't tell you not to ask them, but the question is, do you have to or not?
I'm not saying that you have to automotive.
But you see how easy that step becomes. And not even you might not intend it, but the person who hears it from you, remember we talked about before, you give me an answer now, today, 100 years from now, the answer is what?
We have to go to halal restaurants.
Rizwan said you can't eat at those restaurants. Huh? You about to have what?
Lab meat.
Oh, lab meat?
Yeah.
Well, now you gotta find out if lab meat is halal. So, another point that's in this ayah before we move on to the next ayah.
Going to halal restaurants instead of kafir restaurants for the sake of
Avoiding the containers of the disbelievers. Like I said, for me in this ayah, before we move on to the next topic, before moving on to the next ayah, if you don't know, it's permissible. There's too many hadith that show that. And if you do know, that's how I understand the hadith of Abu Tha'lab al-Khushani, that you know it's najis. And if you don't, then it's permissible until you prove that it's not permissible. The way that the ayat shows that, does anybody remember, it's a theme that we've been constantly saying about these ayat. Allah is mentioning them in what kind of context? Like, how does Allah tell us that their containers is good for us? It's okay for us. It's Allah mentioning in the context of it being a favor upon us. It's a favor upon us. And the favors of Allah, you need what to restrict them?
an evidence.
You need evidence to restrict it. And so right now Allah is telling me that their food is permissible for me, and I'm going to include in that everything until you prove to me I can't. And from the things that are included in that are their containers. And you have to prove to me that I can't use any given container. So when you tell me, Akhi, you can't eat that pizza, because that's the difference in the statement. You can't eat that pizza because they cut it with their cutter. I said, what's your proof? Well, you know, the Kafirs nowadays, most of the time, they eat pork, and you know that's how it be. Akhi, I don't see no pork on my pizza. Akhi, you can't order that cheese. You can't order that cheese steak. You know, a lot of times or that burger off the skillet because they might have cooked bacon on it. Well, they might not have. And Allah told me I can eat their food. And so them cooking it on their stove, unless I know it was najis, then I don't have to leave it. You see what I'm saying? You can ask them to not cut it off. Like, when we talk about this issue of the favor, the next issue I wanted to talk about in this ayat before moving on to the next ayat is وَطَعَامُهُمْ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. Their food is halal for you. Now, you all already gave me a couple exceptions. You gave me Mayta, you gave me Khinzir, you gave me Khamr from other ayat. But their food is halal for me, right? So if it's halal food from them, it's halal food for me, right?
That food which is halal for us, that
Yes.
they also...
Well, if you word it that way, the food that is halal for us from their food, then it doesn't matter that it was their food because it was halal for us already. You heard how he said, because some people take it as that concept. Whatever food is halal for us,
that they share.
that is also halal for them, then it's halal for us. But it was already halal for us. You understand?
Yeah.
The reason why this is important because Allah is mentioning this ayat in the aspect of what? A favor. And what did Allah not mention about their food?
Which one's haram?
How they prepare it. How did they slaughter it? Did Allah mention how they slaughtered it here? But it's halal for them. Is it halal for us? You see how this ayat can be used as a proof to allow the food of the people of the book in a much broader way, that the people who restrict the food of the people of the book because they say it wasn't slaughtered Islamically can be used. The people say it has to be slaughtered Islamically, they use your view or the view that you mentioned. If it's halal for us, if they make it halal for us, then it's halal for us. But it was already halal for us. But if it's halal for them and not haram for us, then it's halal for us. So for example, if they eat a burger, is a burger halal for them?
No, it's a burger.
And is a burger halal for us? Is a burger not haram for us?
Until you prove to me that it's not.
Then it's halal for me to eat the burger. Do I have to ask them how they prepared it?
No.
Do I have to do what? You see what I'm saying?
No.
And so this is a proof for those that say that the food here in America at the restaurants is permissible. Akhi, but they don't slaughter, they don't say Allah's name on it.
What's halal for them is halal.
It's their food. Allah didn't know that there were going to come a time when the kuffar weren't going to mention Allah's name. And did he mention any restrictions to me on their food? Akhi, but they don't slaughter by the neck. Did Allah know that they weren't going to slaughter by the neck? Like we said, but you see, he didn't mention any restrictions about that. Now, obviously the issue is disagreed about, but this is a proof for those who hold that view. And there are people who hold that view that, look, as long as it's halal for them, it's halal for you. As long as it's not,
Something that is halal.
something that is haram for you. And so I don't have to ask those questions about how you slaughtered it, how did you prepare it. If it's in a Christian environment or prepared by a Christian, I can just eat.
What's the stronger opinion?
To me, that's the stronger opinion. That's why I mentioned it. And it's proven by the fact that who did not ask how they prepared the food?
The last one was
Well, Allah didn't tell us that we had to ask.
Rasulullah.
The Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam never asked how you prepared the food. The person poisoned him. Did he ask her how he cooked it? Tell me how you made this. How you prepared it. Are you sure you let all the blood out? Are you sure you slaughtered the neck? As long as it was a Jewish woman, وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. They prevent you with food that is not haram for you, then it's halal for you. Go ahead.
If you know that they didn't slaughter it.
There you run into the problem. Some people say that this ayah proves that they don't have to slaughter it because it's their food. And so their food, it doesn't have to be slaughtered the way you slaughter your food.
So if they just kill the animal, it's dead.
Is it halal for them? And so they say it's halal for you.
But isn't like that animal like
Well, it's not a dead animal. They killed it in a way that's halal for them. You see the difference between Meta and the animals that they slaughter. So they have a different method in slaughtering. If a Muslim were to slaughter that way, it would be what?
Haram.
It'd be haram. It'd be Meta, should I say? It'd be Meta. But do they have to follow our method of slaughtering? Because Allah called it what? Their food. And so they, as long as they follow their method, then their food is halal for you. So for example, here in America, they have the what? What regulates how the food is made? The FDA. And the FDA is what? Halalun lahum. It's their food, it's halal for them. And I know that they're preparing the food according to FDA regulations. If they make meals, they have to make it according to FDA regulations. Their food is وَطَعَامُهُمْ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. While others say no, you now know it's haram because the blood wasn't let out properly. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it's a disagreement. It's the same principle, it's just we disagree about the result. If the food is halal for them and not haram for us, then it's halal. Right? It's halal for them. The question is that which wasn't slaughtered by the throat haram for us? And I say, what's your proof that it's haram on us? This ayat mentioned their food in a way of a favor. So you need now to restrict the favor of Allah upon me.
So basically, it doesn't really matter how they prepare the food, like how they kill the animal.
That is the view. That is the view that I'm mentioning in this context. Yes. Now, obviously, there's disagreement, but that is a view that this ayat could be used for. It doesn't matter because it's their food. And then there are other hadith that support it, like ma anhara dam. What's the hadith? Wa anhara dam. It's the first part of it. Wa anhara dam. فهو حلال. It's not ما كسر جلدا وأنحر دما فهو حلال.
This is only concerning Ahlul Kitab, no?
Yes. كلما أفرى الأوداج وأنهر الدم. But that's not the one I'm looking for. There's a hadith كسر عظما وأنهر دما أو أنهر الدم. What's the hadith? وأنهر الدم.
أنهر الدم.
نعم. وأنهر الدم. ما ذبحت إذا ذبح فهو بما يجوز به الذب وأنهر الدم. What's the narration? What's the hadith? ما أفري الأوداج وأنهر الدم وكان يقرأ. نعم. That's one version of it. There's another one that I'm. Right, that's it. ما أنهر الدم وذكر اسم الله عليه فهو حلال, right?
فكل
ليس السن والظفر
وسأحدثك أن السن فعظم وأنا الظفر.
يرحمك الله. Yeah, that's it. Is that a statement of the Sahabi though? Where is it at? Yeah, I got it. It's Bukhari.
Tirmidhi.
It's Bukhari. قال ما أنهر الدم وذكر اسم الله عليه فكلوا. Whatever spills the blood and the name of Allah is mentioned on it, then eat. And so that hadith, some of them say it doesn't matter where the blood is spilled from. Right? They use that version of the hadith to say it doesn't matter where the blood is spilled from as long as it spills the blood. So like I said, there's a lot of conversations in it, but this ayat is the reference point for that. Remember, the goal of this is to know the reference point for these topics. Right? To know where I would go. If you go to the tafsir of this ayat, they're going to be talking about all of that. And now I know, okay, the foundation is what? وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. Now you need to start proving your exceptions. You see what I'm saying? You need to start proving your exceptions. Go ahead.
So I was gonna, so on the same verse, the previous point that you made regarding restricting the blessings of Allah that He bestowed upon us.
Right.
So regarding the containers of the Ahlul Kitab,
Uh-huh.
so you were saying that how are you gonna tell me that I cannot use their containers?
Exactly.
But the hadith that you mentioned.
The Prophet said don't use it.
Yeah. So.
But when did he tell me not to use it?
When they're using on the najasa.
When they're using it in najasa, and I know for sure. What I say? If I know for sure they're using it on najasa, what was my answer?
Maybe most likely.
No, don't use it. Unless you have no other option, then wash it.
So if it's most likely, you don't use it?
No, I didn't say most likely, because most likely I don't know for sure.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so I can't restrict to say you can't use it because of most likely.
You need a
I would say it's better not to. What made me say it's better not to?
because you're not certain.
Not because I'm not certain, because of most likely. You see what I'm saying? Because it's most likely, it's better not to. If I don't know, halal. But if I know for sure, haram, unless no option, then I have to wash. When doing it like this, I've used all of the evidence. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't have to say, well, this ayat abrogated that hadith. You see what I'm saying? And so there's no, that's the goal of what we're doing. It's like how to look at the evidences so that they all line up. واضح؟ تفضل.
البلاد الصين.
بلاد الصين. Yeah.
State-sponsored atheism. And people,
China is a Catholic country.
it's a Catholic country.
It's
Nor
not a
are
Christian
they-
country.
Yeah, nor are they of any sort of like. People
They have Christians in China.
They have Christians in China,
But it's not a Christian country.
It's not a Christian country.
Oh, correct.
So if I were passing through China,
The foundation is the food is not.
it's haram.
The meat is not
The
permissible.
meat is not permissible in most circumstances.
Yeah.
What if
And
I-
that would be my foundation.
That would be the foundation.
And what I know for certain doesn't leave with
Yeah,
doubt. Now I have to ask, are you Christian?
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Because the only way I can eat it is if I know for certain
That they are.
that it is halal, that they're Ahlul Kitab. Same thing with Hindus. There was that big Hindu restaurant everybody liked to go to. Was it Indiana or something like that? Yeah, truck stop. Everybody loved going there. But they're what?
Hindus.
Foundation is impermissible.
What if they're in the
You got to find out.
But you have to ask.
so you have to ask them what to get the meat.
Quran said they sell halal meat.
If they say it and they're trustworthy, then it's permissible.
How are you gonna say it's trustworthy?
Yes.
So you have to go through the.
You can slaughter your own meat.
So they probably do it maybe.
Maybe not. I don't know. But because I don't know, the foundation is what? No, the foundation is haram. Because they're not people of the book and they're not Muslims.
Don't they buy from
I don't know that.
Christian
I don't know that.
or men?
I don't know that. The same way I treated most likely on the other side is the same way I have to treat most likely here. Can most likely get rid of what I know for sure?
No,
What do you know for sure?
that they're polytheists.
They're polytheists. They're not people of the book. That means their food is what?
Haram.
Haram. I need to now know for sure that that food is halal.
I guess I could have asked.
Chinese spot.
You have to ask if you want to eat it.
Yeah, I would ask.
Yeah, because how else you gonna know for sure?
Yeah, you can ask.
You can't just bismillah that. You see what I'm saying? You gotta know for sure that this is halal because they're not from the people that their food is halal for you. But the Christian, he gives you food. The foundation is what?
Permissible.
Permissible. I don't need to find out anything more. You now have to prove to me that I can't.
But so say you go to like a pizza restaurant,
Uh huh.
and there's no way they're cutting this cheese pizza.
How you know?
They got one. They got one pizza.
You think they only have one cutter in the whole
Most
restaurant?
likely.
No, it's not most likely. They have multiple cutters. They have multiple cutters. I can guarantee you they have multiple cutters.
So you think they're not using it to cut every?
I don't know. Do you know for sure? So if you don't know for sure, how are you going to tell me that I can't do it?
Yeah, I got you.
You see what I'm saying? This is where most of the people make their mistake. They do this. What about maybe, perhaps? Well, how do you know they slaughtered it halal? I don't know. But their food is what? Halal. I don't have to ask. The Prophet didn't ask. It's not my job to ask that question.
Is there any opinion or anything that say, just say Bismillah on the food? Is there people that say that?
In what circumstance? There's something about that about.
People who say like, just say.
But that's about, and that's why I'm saying what circumstance. It's not just in everything in the world. Say Bismillah, now you can eat it.
There's people that don't eat the Christian food. They say, say Bismillah instead.
I say Bismillah before I eat all the time.
No, just that for them to make it like they consider.
If you think it's haram, Bismillah don't make it halal.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's people that say that.
But if it's halal, you said Bismillah anyway.
So regarding the second point you made about the blood coming, that the blood should be coming out.
Let's couch that conversation because we only mentioned that in passing. We don't want to get bogged down in that hukum because we're not there right now.
Inshallah, we can move.
What's your basis that you're going to move forward with? Anytime somebody asks you, can I eat this or not, what you going to say? No, you're not. You're going too hard. What you going to say if somebody asks you, can I eat this or not?
What you gonna say if somebody asks?
Can I eat this or not?
Depends what it
Don't matter what it is.
حل لكم.
Huh?
Is it حل لكم؟
What?
طعام.
Whose?
أهل الكتاب.
وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. That's the reason we learn the ayat. I know my foundation now. There's going to be a lot of difference of opinions, a lot of disagreement, a lot of issues that could change it. But the foundation is what?
That their food is
وَحِلَّ لَكُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَطَعَامُ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ حِلٌّ لَكُمْ. Is this food tayyib? Is it from the Muslims? Is it from Ahlul Kitab? Eat. But what about akhi? Prove to me that it's an exception, I'll stop. But until then, I now have my what? We're gonna get to the disagreements and so we're mentioning it in passing because right now we're in the section of what? Containers, right? The main chapter of Tahara, specifically containers. How does this ayat prove that I can use containers? If their food is halal, how are they going to serve it to me?
on their containers.
So their containers are halal. If their containers are halal, we see the evidence. The Prophet used them. But hold on, didn't the Prophet tell us no? Don't worry, the Prophet only told us no in this circumstance. Problem solved. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to accomplish. You had something before we move on. Go ahead.
I heard that regarding their food, it doesn't mean that they use all the other food.
No, all their other foods are not in this ayah.
One brother told me, I told him, hey,
I haven't heard anything like that. I don't know. It doesn't mean it's not true. I haven't heard that. But we all know that things that don't need to be slaughtered are halal, generally speaking. So their vegetables, their rice, their bread, we already know that's halal. The issue is their meat. But that goes back to understanding what does the word ta'am mean in this ayah. You see what I'm saying? What is the word, like we talked about in the beginning, I think before you came, the word ta'am having these different connotations and context. So you got to look at the tafsir and see how the Salaf explained ta'am in this ayah. طيب, the next ayah, it's similar to one we've already taken, but it's going to approach it from a different way. والله جعل لكم من بيوتكم سكنا وجعل لكم من جلود الأنعام بيوتا تستخفونها يوم ظعنكم ويوم إقامتكم ومن أوصافها وأوبارها وأشعارها أثاثا ومتاعا إلى حين. Allah says والله جعل لكم, and Allah جعل لكم. Anybody listen to Haida? We put that book, the book Al Haida, in the WhatsApp group. It was a book, but it's an audio file. They're just reading the book. I said I read it once a year.
I saw that, but I can't understand it very well.
Okay, but nobody read the book. Y'all got to read that book. That book is my favorite book. That's all right. That's how you get that fluent Arabic. The first time I read it, I wasn't that fluent Arabic. You guys got to remember something, since we're going to take this tangent on Arabic. You don't get it all at once. And yes, everybody has different levels and different abilities. And your ability might be really hard right now. Can you read Arabic? I don't think there's anybody here who can't read Arabic. Is that true? I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't know a basic word. I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't know how to use a dictionary. That means you can read a book. Oh, before that, I left off one. I don't think there's anybody here who doesn't have a friend that can't help them. That means that you can read a book. Knowledge isn't just going to show up. It's not just going to happen. One of the mistakes that we used to make as children is, man, I'm going to be the scholar one day. As if it's yesterday you weren't the scholar, today you are. Have you ever thought like that in your mind? That's how it works. Like there's a bridge that you crossed, that on this side of the bridge you wasn't the scholar, and on this side you are now. All of a sudden, like just cut off like that. Your mind ever thought like that? How do you become a scholar? How do you become knowledgeable?
Studying. That working.
That work. It's not going to come just one day like that. You have to put that work in. It's going to start with you reading a book that I couldn't understand nothing but 10 words. You have now understood 10 words. And then the next time you read it, you understand 50 words. The next time you read it, you understand 1,000 words. Because you're doing the work. It's not just a class that you sit in and, yes, you can get things through osmosis, right? You're just constantly around it, so it sinks in. But most of the time, it's the effort that you put into it. So if you want to read a book, guess what you should do? Open a book and read it. Okay, but the book don't have harakat. That's okay. Start writing your harakat down, right? Or read a book with harakat. Or find that friend who can help you. Because that's how knowledge was acquired. You ask one question, you get one answer. Guess what you now have? Knowledge. And you do that 10 times, you now have 10 pieces of knowledge. You ask, how do I pronounce this word? But that's why it's so hard on us, because we're lazy in the way that we learn. Feeling. And I'm the worst of you. We ask a question, we get the answer we don't care about later on. Right? But if you ask me a question, how do I pronounce this word? I should know from now on how to pronounce that word. And it should stick with me. To where I don't need the harakat the next time I see that word. But we'll see it again and I don't remember. But the reason we don't remember is because we don't do what? We don't practice. We don't review. We don't read. Right? You have to read. And the little things that you get become the things that make everything else easy. Because you'll read here something that's the same thing over here. And now reading over here has become easy because I've already read something like that over here. The reason I mention that is because Ja'ala, right? In that book Al-Hayda, it's about him arguing in front of the Khalifa Al-Ma'mun against Bishr Al-Mirisi, who said the Quran was created. So it's even before the fitna of Imam Ahmed, Abdulaziz ibn Yahya Al-Kinani. It's a great story. It's just a story. It's just a book. He's writing a story about what happened. It's the best story I've ever heard. It's an amazing story. And it's really good about, I ain't going to talk about it. We talked about it before. Anyway, the point of it is that one of the arguments that Bishr uses, he said, the Quran is created because Allah says, Inna ja'alnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan. We have made it an Arabic Quran. And in that Aqidah topic, he diverges into a whole explanation of language. And the word ja'ala has two meanings. To create out of nothing and to make something else. Right? And how do you know the difference? If ja'ala only has one object, it means to create. And if it has two objects, it means to make something else. Inna ja'alnahu Qur'anan Arabiyyan. He didn't create the Quran Arabic. He made the Quran Arabic. Right? Why is that relevant? Because that benefit that you got over here, now you look at this ayah. Inna wallahu ja'ala lakum min buyutikum sakanan. And Allah made for you from your houses a place of comfort. Right? Here Allah made those houses that He created, but He made them a place of comfort. So that's just the benefit when every time you look at ja'ala, that pops into my mind every time I see the word ja'ala. Is it khalaqa or sayyala? Right? Wallahu ja'ala lakum min buyutikum sakanan. This is a benefit. First of all, before we get into all of that, how is Allah mentioning what everything He's mentioning right now? What context?
Blessing.
Context of a blessing, the context of a favor. Right? Look at what Allah did for you. Wallah, when you start looking at the Quran just with that eyesight, وَإِن تُعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ إِن تُحْصُوهَا. Just look at every time Allah is mentioning something to you as a favor, all throughout the Quran. If you were to count up all of these favors of Allah, you wouldn't be able to get them all. Right? Just do it. Every time you read an ayat, man, Allah is telling me about a favor He gave me. It's another favor Allah gave me. It's another favor Allah gave me. Every ayat, inshallah, every surah, you're going to see, man, it's another favor Allah gave me. And you're already starting to train your mind to think like that, man, this is another favor Allah gave me. What's the benefit of knowing the favors of Allah upon you?
So you can be gratitude.
So you can be appreciative of them.
You say in Arabic, gratitude.
Shukr.
Shukr.
Yeah.
There's another one. Hida, not hida.
Thana.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah. Thana and hamd and med are all praise, but shukr is gratitude.
Imtinan or something like that.
Imtinan.
Imtinan.
That's the favor.
Favor.
Shukrul imtinan. You're being appreciative of the favor. Al minna. Right? The favor. And when you're appreciative of the favor, what happens? Allah gives you more. If there was no benefit in recognizing the favors of Allah other than to be appreciative of them, that'd have been enough. Because by appreciating the favors, you're going to get more. But you couldn't appreciate the favors unless you recognize them, unless you know what they are. And the way you love something more, think about everybody and everything you love. The things you love more are the things that you benefit the most from. The more you know about the benefit. Why is it so hard to divorce your wife? She makes a good breakfast, right? You have a reason that you begin to love them. Why are you so in love with your parents? Why do you have so much love for your parents? Look how many favors they gave you, right? A righteous child at least recognizes them. And so by recognizing the favors of Allah, what's going to happen? You're going to love Allah more. And so if nothing else, you're starting to look at the ayah with this mind state of, man, this is another favor of Allah upon me. Like, what's the favor that Allah is mentioning here? Now, and we already know the benefit of the favors, that I can't restrict Allah's favor. Allah's favors, Allah tells you, He says, don't follow up your favors with reminders and harm. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tutbi'u sadaqatikum bil manni wal adha. Don't follow up your charity with favors, with reminders and harm. You remember I did that for you? You remember I did this for you? Hey, I did this for you, you got to do this for me. If Allah tells you not to do that, what do you think Allah does? He doesn't do what He tells you not to do, right? Allah is greater than to need you to repay Him or to remind you about the favor. But He reminds you of the favor in what way? He's reminding you of the favor, or letting you know the favor here in a way to show you that it's absolute. If I can't follow up and like limit the favors that I gave you, Allah's not going to limit His favors. He's giving you a favor, take it. And so now when I'm looking, what's the favor here? Wallahu ja'ala lakum min buyutikum sakana. Allah made for you from your homes a place of comfort. This is a big reminder for the people in the house. The house should be a place of comfort. I remember in another ayat similar to this, you should be conscious of everything that you're doing. Is it increasing the comfort or decreasing it? When you walk in your house, do you go, ah? Or do you go, ah? When you walk in your house, do you go, ah? Or, oh? If you go, ah, everything's good. Because it's comfort for you. Come back from the road, When you see the arch, you like, oh, alhamdulillah, I'm back, right? You walk in the house after a long trip. You could have went to the Bahamas. When you walk back in the house, how do you feel?
Relieved.
Alhamdulillah. Like you just left the Bahamas. You was at the beach. Yeah, but it's not like my own bed. That's a ni'mah from Allah. And so you have to be conscious of yourself, just like everybody else in your environment has to be conscious of, am I doing things that are going to increase that or decrease that? The husband. Am I making it so that when my wife enters the house, she goes, ah. Or am I making it that she goes, oh, here we go, I gotta clean up after this, right? But the same thing is the wife doing for the husband. When the husband walks into the house, does the husband sit in the car and eat his sandwich before going into the house because he don't want to hear her mouth, right? Is he staying out a little bit extra at work because I don't want to go home, ain't nothing at home? Frustration, arguments, yelling. Allah made the home a second, a place of comfort and tranquility. You have to work on yourself just like everybody else in the environment has to work on their self. And we advise each other amongst ourselves. This statement I'm going to say, right? When I walk in the house and my wife hasn't made food and I say, dang, dinner ain't done yet? Did that increase the comfort or reduce it? So maybe I don't want to say it. And then on the flip side, as the wife, when her husband walks in the house and dinner ain't done yet, is that going to increase the comfort or reduce it? Right? But if the dinner was done, he going to walk in, oh, something smells good. What is that? MashaAllah. Man, I was hungry too, especially in Ramadan. Right? Sometimes in Ramadan, those of us with families, we might find our family large and wife is busy, stressed, and I didn't make iftar yet. Increase or decrease?
In Ramadan, the woman can gain extra love.
Yeah. For sure. But it's not just her. We can, and so it's that ni'mah of Allah that by understanding it, we can succeed more. Allah made the house a second end. وَجَعْلَ لَكُم مِّن جُلُودِ الْأَنْعَامِ بُيُوتًا. And he made for you from the skin of al-an'am, homes. What is al-an'am?
The animal? The cattle.
ثمانية أزواج. Cattle in English is not an'am. They might translate it, but cattle is specific to cows.
Yeah.
Al-an'am, Allah said he created for us from the an'am ثمانية أزواج. 8 things when you count them as a group. The first of them is al-ibl. Camels, male and female. How many is that? 2. The next of them is the cow, male and female. The next of them is the sheep, male and female. And the next of them is the goat, male and female. These are bahimatul an'am, right? Thamaniyata azwaj. And then everything that's comparable to them. So, like for example, you have sheep and goat, and you have wild goats. Are they bahimatul an'am? Yeah, they're just wild, right? I don't think there are any more wild cows, but you have like buffalo and bison, right? They're not domesticated. You might find some that are tamed, but they're not domesticated. But they're just like cows. Camels. What's like a camel? No, not a giraffe. Giraffe is a hunting animal. Llama. Blew my mind. It blew my mind. I was like, man, it's the American camel. They don't have a South American specifically, but all of this is a camel without a hump.
Apparently, camels used to be in like America, like North,
Maybe.
and they migrated.
Allah created it for all of mankind. This is everybody. That's what it's always been. Thamaniyat azwaj. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's always been. So, but it blew my mind when I find out like the llama, and what's the other one? There's a llama and there's another one. Alpaca. These are camels. Like you got the 1 hump camel, you got the 2 hump camel, and you got the no hump camel. But that's a camel. You see what I'm saying? Now the question, like, why is all of this relevant? Can I slaughter it in udhiyah?
Slaughter what?
An alpaca or a llama for udhiyah.
I think llama goes to chicken.
No, a llama is a camel, just without the hump. It's from the same family as a camel. Yeah. But they didn't have llamas in Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East. They're South America. But they are the camel. For like udhiyah, for Hajj, Eid. Right? So, ثمانية أزواج وجعل لكم من الأنعام بيوتا من جلود الأنعام بيوتا. So we know what the an'am are. And Allah made for us from their skin homes. What kind of homes did Allah make for us from their skin? Huh? What kind? Say it. Tents. You don't use a tent anymore, so you might not remember what it is. You see what I'm saying? But you have to constantly remember that, oh yeah, people did used to live in tents. Right? Whether they were in America or in the Middle East or in Africa, people lived in tents. They would make their homes out of animal skin. People still do it now for sure. But sometimes when we read the ayah, we start to forget that it was sent down for all times. And all times doesn't just mean the future. It also meant what already happened. Right? Allah sent down the Quran for the people that were there then and us. You can't forget about them just to remember us. We have to keep them in mind. So Allah made homes for us out of the skin of al-an'am. Buyutan tastakhifunaha. That you find them to be light. You deem them light. Al-istighfaf, to see something as light. When you put this prefix on something, ist, it can mean to request it or to see it as. Right? Istighaffa, to see it as being light. These houses made out of animal hides versus a house made out of brick. Which one's lighter? I can just roll that up. And we're good to go. Yoma vatnikum, the day that you leave. When it's time to go, what do I do with my house? Pick it up and go. Tastakhifunaha yoma vatnikum wa yoma iqamatikum. And the day when you stay. When we get there, what do? We pitch our tent. Man, it was so easy to set it up. Like, Akhi, I got a 3-bedroom house. Man, you talking to me about tents. Just think about it, man. I'm off topic, but I'm on topic. What do the kafirs do for fun? Not just haram, just generally, not just the kafir. What do people do for fun? Play games. Go out where?
Anywhere. Like leave.
I got a 3-bedroom house.
They go to do the tent stuff.
But I want to go camping. I got a 3-bedroom house with 2 bathrooms, TV, air conditioner. And on the weekend, I still want to do what?
Go pitch a tent somewhere.
Still pitch a tent somewhere. That shows you that this blessing that Allah is talking, yeah, I don't live in a tent, but that ni'mah is something that's inherent in us. You live in a mansion, you still want to go camping this weekend. You want to go hunting. There's a schnooks right across the street. But I still want to do what? Man, I still want to go hunting. Because these things are in our nature. Who put them there? Allah. Allah put them in our nature. People talk about evolution and things like, this is still just the remnants of how we used to be when we were hunter-gatherers, and we haven't completely evolved out of that, and so that's why we find the enjoyment in it. Akhi, who told us that it was something that we were going to enjoy? Allah. He mentioned it as one of his ni'mah of us, that he made for us these homes. Another reason to understand these things is a lot of times the modern things we see, we don't recognize that it's the same thing as the classical thing. Right? When we see a modern toothbrush, right? And we see a miswak, right? What's the big difference?
One is made out of plastic and artificial.
Well, are toothbrushes made out of plastic? Is the brush made out of plastic?
The brush is
There's brushes that's made of miswak.
Yeah, I mean, and even the fibers that our clothes are made out of are still made out of the same fibers that clothes, like, because we look at it as technology nowadays, but we don't understand what's this stuff made out of.
Same stuff.
It's still made out of the same stuff. A brush, till this day, is still made out of what?
Bristles.
What's the bristle made from?
Animal hair.
You've never, like, you brush your hair every day. Have you ever looked at what's the bristle on this thing made out of?
Wood.
The bristle is made out of wood?
No, animal hair.
It's made out of animal fur, animal hair, boar bristle brush. Nowadays, we've gotten into synthetics and things like that as well, but we still use a lot of the stuff that's just made out of animals. We just don't look at it as being made out of animals because we have no relationship with the animals no more. But glue, what they make glue out of? Horse. And they said we got to go destroy the horse, and they turn it into glue. Perfume, all of these things are still from things that they used to use in the past. We still use them, we just don't recognize that we're using it, right? So that's why the religion, when it talks about, this is another benefit side topic, Ibn al-Kinani in the book Al-Hayda, Muhammad ibn al-Jahm ibn Safwan yelled at him when he told him that the Quran didn't leave off anything that we need to know except that it proved it. And so Muhammad ibn al-Jahm ibn Safwan, he said, prove to me that this mat is created. He grabbed a mat in front of him, using only the Quran. Prove to me that Allah created this mat using the Quran. Show me the ayah where Allah says, I created that mat. Not that mat right there. So Al-Kinani, he said, what's inside the mat? He said, fibers of this and that, some wood. He said, you're missing something. He said, no, that's it. He said, no, you're also missing the human ingenuity to put it together. And then he brought an ayat for each one of those things, how it was created. The wood, Allah created the wood, Allah created the fibers. And Allah created you and your actions. So the point of it is that they use the same things we use. We just don't look at them. So Allah is telling us that He made for us from the cattle, out of their skin, homes that we find light the day we set out, the day we leave, and the day when we take up residency. And also here is connecting what to what? It's connecting blessing to blessing, right? It's not saying you also use the skin for these things. No, in addition to the animal skin that we gave you as a blessing, we also gave you this. So what else? وَمِنْ أَوْصَافِهَا وَأَوْبَارِهَا وَأَشْعَارِهَا أَثَاثًا لَكُمْ وَمَتَاعًا إِلَى حِينٍ. الصوف. طيب, what are the cattle? Camels. Cow.
Cows. Goats.
Sheep, goat. Sheep and goat, they also refer to them as sha. They put them in one category sometimes, right? But that category, when somebody says sha in Arabic, it's really sheep or goat. So you got those four groups. A suf is what is on a sheep. Wool. What's on a sheep is suf. What's on a camel is called wabar. Camels, we don't say camel hair. We call it wabar. I think English they call it fur, right? Sheeps have wool. Camels have wabar. Cows and goats have sha'r. They have hair, right? See the billy goat got a beard just like yours, right? They got hair. So the wool, the camel fur, and the hair, Allah said He made it as a blessing for us also. Athathan. Athath is like the home goods, the commodities in the house. Remember we talked about the word ina and its containers, but we usually enter into that conversation other things like it, like pillows, like blankets, like that's athath, right? Those things are from the things that are from the athath of the bait. the pillows, the blankets, the chairs, the curtains. Allah made for us from those things commodities for the home goods, right? All the things you go to Home Goods and buy, athath. وَمَتَاعًا, and means of enjoyment. We use these materials for enjoyment for a limited time, right? Whether those goods end, they wear out in a limited time, or we get to enjoy them in the dunya for a limited time. But that's the ayat. Any questions about the ayat? What's it got to do with containers? Min julud al-an'am. So it has to do with animal hides and how we use them in containers. Anything else? Favor upon favor. Anything else besides animal skin that we use in containers? Getting there. We just mentioned it. Not just the skin.
Like the tents.
The athath. And what do we use for the athath? What do we use to make them? We just mentioned it. What do we mention? What's in the ayat?
The skin.
Not the skin. After Allah mentioned the skin, He mentioned the hair, the wool, the fur. If it was a bird, the feather. You see what I'm saying? Don't we use those things?
What do you use it for? Oh yeah, for the clothing.
Clothing.
I was
Pillows.
I was just thinking about utensils.
That's what I'm saying. Remember, what goes with the conversation of utensils often is the other things that aren't utensils. The clothing, the pillows, the blankets, the mattresses, right? The pen, the writing pen. They used to use a feather, right? All of these things are athath. They are usually included in the conversation of containers. Are they containers? But they fall into the same conversation. Things that we use and utilize our enjoyment from, right? Mata'an ilahi. So we're going to talk about two things: the animal hide and the other things that are above the animal. Because there's, but as far as the animal hides, we already talked about them. When did we talk about animal skin?
When did we talk about it?
Yeah.
حرمت عليكم الميتة.
حرمت عليكم الميتة. And we said that the way that we saw the ayat was stronger was that حرمت عليكم الميتة, i.e. eating it. But as far as using it, then it's not haram. And this ayat supports that understanding. Because Allah said He made for us from their what? From their skins, homes, as a comfort. Allah mentioned us using their skin as a blessing. Restricted. Restrict me using their skin. Tell me I can't use their skin when Allah told me I could.
But it doesn't mention, is it?
It doesn't mention anything. Allah just said, I did it for you. So tell me I can't use it. Here, there are three views that we're going to mention. The view of those who say all animal. Okay, there's going to be more than three, but the view of those who say all animal skins are permissible. You can use any animal skin. But does this ayat support them?
No.
No, why not?
Because I have mentioned it.
Mention what? An'am. Right? So there are people who say all animal skins are permissible. But this ayat doesn't necessarily support them because this ayat says an'am. Does it mention having to tan the skin first? All right. This ayat doesn't mention it. So this ayat supports the people that say you don't need to tan it first. There are some people that say you don't need to tan the animal hide. You can just use it. Right? Like the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said, when they saw the hadith of Maymuna, he saw them dragging one of her dead sheep. He said, "Halla akhadtum ihabaha fastamta'tu." They said, قالوا هلا انتفعتم بها قالوا يا رسول الله إنه ميتة قال ألا أخذتم إيهابها فاستمتعتم بي أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. He saw them dragging a dead sheep. He said, why don't you benefit from it? They said, oh Rasulullah, it's mayta. He said, why don't you use its carcass and benefit from it? Right? And then like use the skin of it. Did the Prophet say you had to tan it in that hadith? So they say you don't even have to tan it. Any animal, you can just use it. Another group says, no, you can't use any of it. All of it's haram. Unless it was slaughtered. Right? You can't use any of it unless it was slaughtered Islamically. Even if you tan it. Why? Because the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, the hadith of Abdullah bin Ukaym al-Juhani, he said the letter of the Messenger of Allah reached us while we were in the land of Juhayna. So this is close to the time that the Prophet ﷺ died. And he said in the letter that we should not use any animal carcass, any ihab, that we should not benefit and la tantafi'u min ihabin wala asab, from any ihab or any tendon. Because they would use the tendons. You know what a tendon is?
Yeah.
Huh?
Ligaments.
Like a ligament, like the little cartilage and things like that. They keep your bones and things together. They tie it all down, tie your muscle down. Asab, right? That we should not use any ihab or asab. And so this hadith of the letter of the Prophet told him not to use any ihab. And so they say it's general. And it's the later of the two. Because we said the letter would have came towards the end of the Prophet's life, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so it abrogated the first one. But there's an argument there. Well, we don't know which one came first. And we know the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam married Maymuna when? Anybody know when the Prophet married Maymuna? Oof. He married Maymuna year 8 or year 7 after Khaybar, right? وَمَيْمُونَةَ كَانَ الْآخِرَةِ. She was the last of the Prophet's wives, Maymuna. And Ibn Abbas was there for this event. When did Ibn Abbas move to Medina? Year 8, after the conquest of Mecca. So we know that this event of the Prophet seeing this sheep of Maymuna was at least in year 8. When did the Prophet write the letter to the people in Juhayna? Maybe he wrote it before that. Maybe he wrote it after. We don't know. So you got these two opinions. You can use any of it even if you don't tan it. You can't use any of it even if you tan it. Then you have the view that you can use it if you tan it. Like, how do they get to their view? They say as far as the hadith of Maymuna, in one of the versions the Prophet said, هَلَّا أَخَذْتُمْ إِهَابَهَا فَدَبَغْتُمُوهُ. Why don't you take its carcass and tan it? And so that shows you can't just use any of it. You can only use it if you tan it. And as far as the hadith of Abdullah bin Ukaym, when the Prophet said don't benefit from any carcass, he means what? Don't benefit from it until you tan it. Because when it's before it's tanned, it's called an ihab. But after it's tanned, it's not called ihab anymore in Arabic. And this is an example like when the Arabic language becomes super important.
What did it say in the hadith? Did it say ihab?
لا تنتفعوا من إيهاب ولا عصب. Right? And so they say ihab is only before it's tanned. And so therefore, you can use it as long as it was tanned. And that's what most people say. Right? That's what most people say. You can use it after it's tanned. The Prophet ﷺ, he said in the hadith, وَدِبَاغُهَا طُهُورُهَا. Tanning it is how you clean it. And we talked about how the Prophet ﷺ drunk out of the leather satchel of the mushrik woman. Can mushriks slaughter halali? So how was he able to drink water out of this najis container?
Because he was
when they tan it. Even the mushrikun tan. And so it doesn't matter who tans, it becomes clean. You don't have to be a Muslim to tan it, to make it clean. And this ayat supports that. Because he made for you all from your home, from the skin of the وَجَعَلَ لَكُم مِّن جُلُودِ الْأَنْعَامِ بُيُوتًا. He made for you all from the skin of animal hides homes. Do only Muslim build houses? So even if the kafir builds the house out of animal hide for it, he makes the tent for you, it's still tahir. It's still halal. The fact that Allah mentioned it as a favor shows that it's halal. Like, the one issue that we have to double back to now is, what about besides an'am? If I tan an animal that's not from the an'am, does it become tahir? If I tan a pig, you were talking about the pig dish, a leather satchel made out of pig skin, right? What about a lion skin rug? Right, you go to somebody's house and they got a lion skin rug. Or taxidermy. You ever seen taxidermy? When they take the dead animal,
Take like the head and they.
or the whole animal, and they make it look like it's alive.
Oh.
They tan it and do all that, but it makes it look like it's alive still. Taxidermy. Back in the day, I remember we took the kids to the Arch, and what do they used to wear here in America, especially in St. Louis? Anybody know?
Felt hats?
What's felt?
It's made out of like beaver skin.
Yeah. Can you eat a beaver?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Probably so. But if a kafir slaughters a beaver, it's najis, because a kafir did it. But they would wear beaver hats, felt, from animal hide. A bear. Can you eat a bear? I don't think so. But what would they wear to keep themselves warm in the winter?
Wait, if a kafir slaughters it,
If a kafir slaughters a beaver, besides a Jew or a Christian. When I say kafir, I'm not including the Jews and the Christians, because they're Ahlul Kitab. They're kuffar as well. But like a bear. Back in the day, they used to wear, or like you see them tribes where they wear like the lion head back, and they had a thing, and they, right? Is that najis or tahir? It's tahir, but it's an animal that can't be slaughtered. So if that lion is tahir, then the pig is tahir too.
The Prophet said if you tan it, the Prophet Muhammad he said if you tan it, it's tahir.
Okay, so then.
He said, "Tuhuruha dibaguha."
what about humans?
Humans don't become najis upon death. Humans don't become najis upon death, regardless.
People tan.
The point of it is that this is where they disagree. There's one. So this ayah, does it support any animal hide? No, because the ayah only talks about al-an'am. So here the ayah is not directing this. But when we look at the hadith, there's two main hadith that we'll use in this. Ayyuma ihabin dubigh faqad tahur. Ayyuma, any ihab, any untanned animal hide that is tanned becomes clean. What's that mean? Any. So that includes pig, includes lion, it includes tiger, it includes bear, it includes beaver. Ayyuma ihabin dubigh faqad tahur. It includes dog. Any ihab that is tanned becomes tahir. That's the proof of those that say you can tan any animal skin and it becomes tahir. Then you have the other side where they say dibaghuha zakatuha. Tanning it is like slaughtering it.
Yeah, I think there's a hadith too.
That's what I just said. Dibaghuha zakatuha. Tanning it is slaughtering it. Why is that relevant?
Because when you slaughter
It becomes tahir. But you can only slaughter animals
Certain things.
that you can slaughter. And so they say you can only tan animals that you can slaughter. The ayah will kind of support that side. But the hadith can also add to it. And I lean to the other side, that you can, any ihab, any skin that's tan becomes tahir.
So they said you can only make the skin tahir of the animal that you can slaughter.
Correct.
Okay, so they use it to say the pig.
Pig can't be
skin.
applied. Even if you tan it, it doesn't become clean. You can't
What
use
about
pig
dog?
skin, dog skin, lion skin. Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So for the animals, example that we can't eat, and if we use their skin and tan it, What do we do with the meat?
You get rid of it. This is just one thing that we can use. So
Right.
I see what you're saying. Like, what do we do with the meat? We can use the fat to burn in the lantern. You see what I'm saying? If it's a dead sheep or dead cow, we can use that fat to burn in our lanterns. If we find some other usage for it besides eating, right? And we can use it for that.
Can we feed it to animals?
Animals you eat or animals you don't eat?
If you don't eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scholars disagree. They are more comfortable with animals you don't eat than animals you eat. While some of them say you can feed it to animals you eat. So for example, a dead sheep, can I use that in my dog food for my hunting dog? Yes. Remember we talked about I had a job transporting pig slurry. Huh? I had to transport pig slurry in a container. Pig slurry, they take pigs and they just mix it up into juice.
Actual pigs?
Yes, actual pigs. They just cut them up, dead pigs. They don't do it while they're alive. They take the pigs and they just cut them up and cut them up. They put them in a blender until they turn into juice. Then they fill a tanker with it, and we used to deliver the tanker for Purina. They still. I just did this. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but this was like maybe less than 10 years ago, maybe like 5 years ago. Can I take that load? Well, dog food doesn't have pig in it. If it doesn't have pig in it,
So is it for what? Like eating?
dogs are going to eat it.
Is it halal for the dog to eat it?
Is it haram for the dog to eat? Do dogs have halal and haram?
I'm just asking that. Yeah.
Well, that's the argument. Some scholars will say, no, you can't give it to anything. You got to get rid of it. Some scholars say you can give it to animals that you don't eat, like your dog, right? But then you have the issue, if you give it to your dog, and then your dog licks you. Is the dog najis? I thought we just said, "Ma amsakna alaykum."
Maybe make him drink some water to clean his mouth.
And then other people say you can feed it even to animals that you eat. Right? You can even feed it to animals that you eat. Like if you have, you don't eat cats, but I'm trying to think of, like you have some najis dough, like some dough that has urine in it, right? Or some alcohol in the dough or something like that, right? And then you make bread, but now you can't eat the bread because it's najis. But you give it to your cow or to your sheep or to your chickens, right? Some of them say that's okay. So the point of it is that that's what they say to do with that. Another benefit when we talk about the animal hides is there's 3 levels to an animal. What's below the skin, what's above the skin, and the skin itself. Some of them say that what's below the skin is haram, unless it's made halal by slaughtering. The foundation in meat is that it's haram. You cannot eat unless you slaughter. And what's above the skin, as we'll talk about next time, is halal. The fur, the wool, the hair, the feathers, that's all halal. So what's below the skin is haram, and what's above the skin is halal. What about the skin? Where's the skin at?
It's above the meat.
It's in between. And so they say the skin is in between. If it's not tanned,
Haram.
najis like the meat. If it's tanned,
Halal.
tahir like the fur. And so that's another argument for those that say that all of the skin becomes tahir. And then lastly, the hadith where the Prophet ﷺ said, "Zakatuha dibaghuha." Dibaghuha zakatuha, or kama qala sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's another narration that says, "Ayyuma ihabin dibaghu ihab tuhuruha aw zakatuha." Tuhuruha aw zakatuha. It's cleaning it or slaughtering it. And so either that O is for doubt, meaning the narrator can't remember which one was said, or it's for different circumstances. It's like slaughtering it for permissible animals, and it's like cleaning it for impermissible animals. Either way, I lean to all animal skins can be cleaned, even though the ayat isn't directing that. That's an example of the sunnah adding on to the ayat.
What was the hadith again?
Which one?
The one you just said.
The last one?
Yeah.
Well, it's most of these hadith you'll find in Bulugh al-Maram, and we do it at the end of the chapter. This is the last hadith of this chapter. Tuhuruha or zakatuha.
So what's the meaning?
Tanning it is cleaning it or slaughtering it. So the doubt, it shows either doubt, meaning the narrator can't remember which one. And if he can't remember which one, then it's a possibility that it is cleaning it. And so it goes to the other opinion. Or could mean it's either this or that. Options. And if you carry it that way, it can mean it's cleaning it for non-halal animals and it's slaughtering it for halal animals. Also another argument, and this is logic, that shows that it's for all animals is that the narration that says tanning it is slaughtering it is not accurate. Why is it not accurate?
Tanning's tanning?
Yes, but what makes it, if the Prophet said tanning it is slaughtering it, then you should be able to do what? You should be able to eat it. But you can't eat it.
Eat the skin?
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
But you
no,
can't
it's
eat it,
just
can
saying-
you?
No, it's just saying like the meat of the animal is najis, right? Unless you slaughter it.
Correct.
So the skin is you cannot use it unless you tan it.
But you see how you just used two different words? You said you can't eat it unless you slaughter it. But then the Prophet said doing debug is like slaughtering it.
Yeah, that means
So if it was like slaughtering it, I should be able to do what? I should be able to eat it.
slaughter makes it
Slaughter makes it edible.
no slaughter makes it pure. Tanning makes it pure. Fine. You know.
But you didn't use, you see what I'm saying? Like you said, slaughtering it is like, tanning it is like slaughtering it. If I would have slaughtered it, I would have been able to do what? I'd have been able to eat it. So tanning it should, if tanning it is like slaughtering it,
Then to tan the skin.
then
is
to
all-
tan
all I
should
need.
make it edible. But does it do that? No. So which word makes more sense in this context? Tanning it is cleaning it, or tanning it is slaughtering it?
Tanning is clean.
And that goes back to the proof of tanning it is cleaning it. And so you can use the ayat to say it only applies to the 8. You can use the ayat to say it only applies to the 8. But then I still have the hadith. Whatever animal hide is tanned, then it becomes tahor.
Does the ayah say that only these?
The ayat does not say only.
Okay. So.
And that's why I say all of them. If the ayat said only these, then I would have had to reject the hadith. But the ayat doesn't say that, and the hadith can add to an ayat. That's one of the roles of the sunnah, is that it can add to the Quran.
But it can't subtract.
It can abrogate, in my opinion. In the opinion that I follow, it can subtract. It can change the rule of the Quran. The question is, does it happen? That's a big usuli issue. Can I use a hadith to abrogate an ayah? Majority of them say no. The opinion that we follow is yes. The question is, does it happen? Meaning, are there any examples where it actually
Are there
happened?
any examples? I don't know.
There's 2, but they're argued.
2 that are argued.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's the issue. But most people say no, because the Quran you know for sure, and the hadith
We don't
is speculative. Anyway, so those are the topics about the animal skin. Whether you tan it or not, whether it applies to all animal skins or not. The only thing that's left is the fur, the hair, the feathers. We can just make this simple to finish this chapter out. Everything above the skin is tahir, regardless of what animal. This is a disagreement, but the stronger opinion, Allah knows best, is that regardless of what animal, it's tahir. Because the hair and the nails and the bones, although connected, are considered to be disconnected. You understand what that means? Even though they're connected physically, they're their own item. They don't have the same rule as the body of the animal. Give me an example that hair doesn't have the same rule as the body of the animal. Huh?
You said it can be used, and before you slaughter it.
It's a good example. You can use it before you slaughter it. Whatever is taken from the animal when it's alive, then it's treated as meta. Let's say I have a cow. I don't want to slaughter it. I just want to take a little bit off the top. I'll make some strip steaks. We're not going to kill it. We're just going to cut it down. I'm just going to cut off some meat off the back.
Yeah, people do that. You can do that.
That's haram.
I'm saying like people.
I know people do it.
People do it.
But it's haram because whatever is taken from the animal when it's alive, then it's treated as meta.
That's made that.
But can I take the fur off the animal when it's alive? The Prophet ﷺ, he said, لا حرج بمسك الميتة إذا غسل إذا دبغ. What's the hadith? لا بأس بمسك الميتة إذا دبغ وصوفها وشعرها إذا غسل. There's no harm with the misk of the meta, the skin of the meta when it's been tanned, or with its hair or its fur when it's been washed. And the reason why he said when it's been washed is if you pluck it out. Because if you pluck it out, then some of the body will still be connected to the bottom, as opposed to if you cut it off. Like sheep, we cut sheep all the time. And you don't have to wash it when you cut it off because you're not uprooting it. So that's an example that the hair, even though it's connected, is considered to be disconnected because I can cut it off while it's alive and use it. And so if it's disconnected from a tahir animal, then it's disconnected from a najis animal. If the hair of the pig, even though it's on a pig, is not part of the pig, prove to me when I can't use it.
So then what about bones?
Bones, think about ivory.
Yeah.
The elephant is what? Most people say the elephant is najis.
Okay.
Because it's an angry animal. It's anif.
Okay.
Right? But even though this is the case of the elephant, we use ivory, and we've always used ivory.
But it's the tusk.
What do you think the tusk is?
And it's like bone. It's like a nail, but
It's like bone, like nail. That's what it is. It's just on the outside. It just grew out.
So what about bones from the inside?
Same ruling.
Even like pig bones?
Even like pig bones. Now, obviously, people disagree about it.
So I was gonna say, is that not like the pig bone?
Yes.
The pig bone is what they use to make
Huh?
the gelatin.
They call it an ad
Al-an. Yeah, no.
The teeth of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
animal to use them.
So,
It's expensive.
because these things, even though they're connected, they're like disconnected. And what makes the animal haram?
That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yes, but what's the reason? What's in it that makes it haram?
It's najis.
Why? What? What's in it?
Oh,
The life.
Okay.
The life that flows through it is what makes it haram. That's why you have to slaughter the animal to let the life out. The blood. What doesn't have the blood? What doesn't have the life?
Hair,
Hair,
nails.
nails,
And
bones.
what about the
teeth.
marrow?
The marrow is not the same blood. It's not the blood that flows through the animal.
Is that not what? Is that not like where blood comes from though? Like,
It's not where it comes from. It used to be blood, but then it became bone. Like blood doesn't run in your bones.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
So that's not the life that we have to let out.
Okay.
Likewise, the nails, they don't have their own life. They grow, they live. Your nails live. If you clip your nail, it will grow back.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have life.
No.
And so since even though it's connected, it's disconnected, it's tahir. And the opinion that I lean on is that this is for all animals. Some scholars will say it's only for the tahir animals.
So, if I'm correct when I say like gelatin comes from like the hook
Pig bone, exactly.
in the bone.
Yeah. Who said gelatin's halal?
Yeah. That's the opinion that we've always followed.
So if gelatin is from pig bone and pig bones aren't haram, then gelatin is not haram. But if you say pig bones are haram,
well then it'd be haram.
You got to say unless it changes into something else.
Unless
Exactly.
you also believe that it remains najis just because you changed it.
Exactly. But so all of these things, like most people would all automatically default to a view, but you see, no, there's room here because the hair and the nails and the bones are considered disconnected, even though they're connected. And this, to me, is the stronger opinion.
Disconnected from the meat.
Meaning it's disconnected from the animal that they're connected to.
So when I pick up a pack of gummies, that doesn't say beef gelatin.
If you pet a dog,
If you pet a dog, it's fine.
right? You see everybody jump on, oh, get a dog. It's just fur. Fur doesn't become najis. The example I was looking for that everybody can relate to, when you say an example that when it's disconnected, you know it's different. Can you look at a woman without a hijab? Can you look at a woman without a hijab? That's not a mahram to
It's a
you.
non-mahram.
For marriage purpose.
Generally speaking, can you look at an ajnabi woman?
If you're doing business with her.
No, I'm talking about her, not her hijab. Can you just gaze at a woman who is a non-mahram to you?
The first time, like
That's why I said gaze. Mashallah, ya fuqaha, right? Everybody got all these. Can you stare at a woman who's haram on you?
No.
No, thank you. If she's haram on you, you can't look at her,
no.
right? Can you look at her hair? When it's connected to her, no, because that would require you to look at her.
Yeah.
But what if it's disconnected?
Well, if it's just like on the floor, then it's just hair.
You work at a barbershop. At the end, you come in at the end of the night and sweep up hair.
It's just hair.
Do you gotta go blindfold?
No.
Because what?
It's just hair.
Because the hair is not connected.
Yeah.
And we know that hair is not her.
No.
Now, when it's connected to her, you can't look at it because looking at the hair will require you to
Look at her.
look at her. But even though it's connected, it's treated as if it's disconnected. Because like you mentioned, if you cut it off the animal, it doesn't have the same rules anymore. So that's what this ayat talks about when it says, وَمِنْ أَوْصَافِهَا وَأَوْبَارِهَا وَأَشْعَارِهَا. We add to that the feathers, right? An eagle, tahir or najis? Najis. It's from sibah. But the feather, tahir, you can use a bird feather as a pin,
Yeah.
right? Bird bones, a beak. You might use it as some type of decoration, or you might use the claw as something, right? So all of these things are permissible, and that's what this ayat is supporting as well. They're athathan.
Wait a second. Eagle, can you use it as hunting?
Yes.
How is it najis?
I don't believe it's najis, but I was just saying najis for the general mass. Remember, I don't think, I'm more of Maliki in that. I don't think any animal is najis until it dies,
Any animal
besides the pig.
besides the pig.
Wait.
Because you got to prove to me it's najis.
No. Yeah.
And show me an animal that's najis until it dies,
Other than the pig.
other than the pig. You said a dog, I said a dog's not najis. I can have a dog. You said a donkey, which is the strongest one, because there's hadith where the Prophet says, innahu rijs. But some of them say that the hadith is abrogated, that he only made it najis for a certain time.
Wait, you talking about the dog?
Donkey.
It's the it's like the.
I said the donkey is the only other one I could find that has a direct statement about it being najis. Innahu najis in some narrations.
So if I tan it, like if I tan the skin.
That's a different conversation. We're talking about while it's alive, is it najis?
It has a statement saying that it's najis.
That it's najis.
Everything else doesn't.
Everything else, I haven't found any other animal that it says about it while it's alive that it's najis.
So I can pet the dog?
Yeah, you can pet a dog, in my opinion.
No, donkey.
You can pet a donkey. They rode on donkeys.
Yeah, so is it impure though?
I would ride on the donkey.
If you
If
what?
you get
I'm touching some impure.
There's no narrations that say you had to do it.
Why not?
They would ride on a donkey and they would sweat. So if they would sweat, that means water would transmit
Religious.
the dog. And there's another narration that says najis to it.
Yeah, but it's saying it's abrogated.
Some of them say it's abrogated, saying that the Prophet during Khaybar or during Tabuk, he told them to pour out the kettles that had the donkey meat in it. And he said, innahu najis, or innahu rijs. And some of them say that that was at the time of death, because it was already dead, right? Because they had already slaughtered it. And so every animal that's not edible becomes najis at the time of death. While others say no, it's because it's najis in its lifetime. There's another narration that kind of makes it seem that way, where he says, innaha najis. But then there's another narration that comes where another Sahabi asked the Prophet about donkey meat, and the Prophet said, go ahead. And then he said, I only made it najis at that time. And there's another narration where some of the Sahaba, they said he only made it najis because he was worried about them killing all their donkeys and not having anything to ride on. But Imam Malik, his method is that, if I'm not mistaken, the only najis animal while it's alive is the pig. The only najis animal while it's alive is the pig. And so you are now responsible, because remember, the foundation of everything is that it's tahir. Prove to me that something is najis.
What about the Hanabila?
Huh?
Hanabila?
Hanabila, no, the dog's najis. The pig's najis. Elephant's najis.
You cannot tend their skin?
Hanabila, you can't tan anything. Because they use the hadith of Abdullah bin Ukay. And la tattafi'u bi ihabin wala asl. You can't use any animal skin or tendons. So with the Hanabila, you can't tan anything. But remember, the goal of it all is just to think about the ayat. Just know what the ayat is as a foundation, and now you know where to go back to get more information. Wallahu ja'ala lakum min juludil an'ami, wallahu ja'ala lakum min buyutikum sakanan, wa ja'ala lakum min juludil an'ami buyutan tastakhifunaha yawma dha'nikum wa yawma iqamatikum wa awsafiha wa awbariha wa ash'ariha athathan wa mata'an ila hin. Yeah, we finished.